What's going on, guys, and welcome back to yet another calming PC build to fight anxiety. And this time our budget is $400. I'm really excited about this one because I got some cool parts and they fit a fun color scheme as well. Out of this computer, you can expect 900p to 1080p gaming performance on low to medium settings, depending on the game, of course. Since I ordered these parts in late July, many of them have actually increased in price already. If that's the case, I will post an alternative in the description that should give you similar-ish performance for around the same price. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. But before we do that, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Morning Brew. Morning Brew turns daily news from a dry, sometimes aimless chore into something fun. They send out news emails with witty, informative, and engaging content, and the best part, it's completely free. I've been subscribed to Morning Brew for a little bit over half a year now, and it's kept me in the loop without me turning to a traditional news network. I catch up on national and international news during breakfast, which is wildly efficient without feeling dull. And now I feel well versed in things like finance and tech, and even the weird things like the live action Ice Age remake that they somehow raised $15 million for. So thank you, Morning Brew, for keeping me up to date with stuff like that too. Prior to this, I would check social media for news, which maybe wasn't the best choice. So if you're interested in business, finance, or tech, then check out Morning Brew. Literally takes 20 seconds to subscribe and it's free. So you have nothing to lose. All right, back to the video. Starting us off, we have the Ryzen 3 4350G from AMD. Now this serves as both our processor and our video card thanks to its integrated graphics that rival a GT 1030. It has 4 cores and 8 threads and was $185. Unfortunately, it's now overpriced, but you can buy a 2400G and a cooler for about $10 more. I picked up 16 gigs of RAM for $63 from an interesting brand called Simba. Yeah, not Simba, Sinba. With a speed of 3200 megahertz and a latency of 16, it'll work great with our computer. Remember, the faster your memory, the faster your integrated graphics, so always get the fastest RAM you can afford. This one, thankfully, offers an aluminum heat spreader with the king of the forest for a high-speed gaming experience. Thank you, Simba. I splurged a bit on the storage because this was an insane deal. The Western Digital SN750 for only $55. Now this puts us over budget a little bit, but man, it is totally worth it. It's one of the fastest and most reliable SSDs out there right now. Now I doubt you can get this for the price anymore, but there are 500GB SSDs for about the same price that will work great. If you want to save some cash, just get a drive with less capacity. Our motherboard today is a Gigabyte B450M Aorus. Now I got it for $62 from Amazon Warehouse, which, hot tip, you should definitely utilize. B450 and B550 boards are hard to come by under $80 brand new, but you can get ones in great condition with all the necessary accessories lightly used on Amazon for like $60. It's a healthy money saving technique. Through EVGA B-Stock, I snagged an EVGA 450 watt power supply for only $13. Now these are fine for low-end to mid-tier gaming systems and will get you on the ground running. Normally I recommend getting something a little bit better, but it was hard to pass this for the price. Thankfully, power supply prices have deflated, so you can find an okay one for not much more, and I'll put an alternative in the description. And everything will be housed inside this guy, the ES Gaming Q06. Probably not a case you've heard of, but give it a shot. I think you'll like it. It comes with a perforated front panel, tempered glass, and 4 pre-installed RGB fans. For only $40, it's pretty insane value. And of course, we have some extras. If this is your first time building a PC, you will definitely need a Phillips head screwdriver at the very least. I have my iFixit kit, which, not sponsored, but hit me up iFixit, and my generic brand screwdriver kit from Walmart. You'll be fine with either. And lastly, some accessories to fit our color scheme today: orange, white, and black. I'm taking inspiration from one of my favorite albums of all time, Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. All right, let's get started. So here we have the motherboard, and normally I would get started with that, but first I want to open up the CPU and show the little surprise that I have for you guys. So here's the CPU, the Ryzen 3 4350G, which I just think looks really nice. And the little surprise I have for you, which isn't really much of a surprise, but I was able to modify my cooler. I painted it orange for the channel orange theme. It only took about 40 minutes. Cool, so we can set those aside and open up our motherboard box. So the cool thing about Amazon Warehouse is that even though this is used, all of the motherboard accessories are still there. Now for this build, all we'll need is the IO shield and the M.2 screws for the SSD. Now I really like that we got Gigabyte Aorus because it has orange on it and that works well with the color scheme too. So when it comes to installing the CPU, you want to line up the Ryzen logo on the CPU IHS with the grayish rectangular top on the CPU socket. Then you lift up the lever, you place the CPU in, it should just fall into place, no pressure needed, and then you raise the lever down and you're good. After that, we can install our CPU cooler, and for the AMD stock cooler, the first step is to unscrew the mounting brackets. So the stock cooler does come with its own thermal paste, but I personally don't like to use it, so I'm going to clean it off with some isopropyl alcohol and water. Yeah, it's really gross. Cool, there we go. So the thermal paste I use is Arctil MX4. I've had it for years and served me very well. So I'm just going to put a pea-sized drop on the CPU. I'm going to screw in the 4 corners and then plug in the cable into the CPU fan header. Just going to pause here for a little bit because I really like this shot. Awesome. Now we're ready to install the RAM. To install RAM, you just want to make sure you pull the levers on the top and the bottom of the RAM slots, and then you want to line up the notch on the RAM itself with the notch on the RAM slot. Then you're going to push at the ends and it should just click into place. Cool, now we have the SSD. Because this is M.2, we actually don't need any cables, which is really useful. And yet again, orange and black matches well with the color scheme. First thing we're going to do is remove the heatsink for the M.2 SSD. And then we're going to remove the sticker on top of it. This is where the heatsink is going to go. After plugging in the M.2 SSD, we do need to install a standoff so it's not flapping up and down like that. So after we do that, it should be securely in place. Next, we can take the heatsink, take off its blue wrapper, and then put it on top of the M.2 SSD. This should keep it nice and cool. Oh yeah, if you have any extra M.2 screws, make sure you put them in a safe place because you might need them later. Awesome. Now we're ready to start prepping the case to install the motherboard. Just a friendly reminder that when you take a case out of its box, touch some grounded metal because you will probably build up some static electricity and you don't want to fry your components. And there's me, looking awkwardly into the case side panel window. First thing we're going to do is install the I/O shield. We want to do this first because trust me, you will forget. And if you forget, you have to remove the entire motherboard to install it. And you do not want to do that. And here's a manual, pretty simple, but it does have everything you basically need. Here are the screws as well, and any extra zip ties for cable management. So it looks like our fans actually use Molex connectors, which is not ideal, but hey, for the price, I'm okay with it. Now I'm going to install the power supply. Before we do that though, I do want to customize it a bit by putting some vinyl wrap on top of it. And luckily our case does have a cutout in the power supply basement, so we'll be able to see it. Now this is my first time ever using vinyl wrap, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I did buy a heat gun just in case, but I actually didn't need it. The vinyl was sticky itself. The alignment wasn't perfect, but hey, we got it done. Just as a hot tip, make sure you install the power supply with the fan facing downward so it can get adequate airflow. You also don't want its fan fighting against the fans in the case. Here, I'm just seeing where the standoffs on the motherboard line up with the pre-installed standoffs on the case, and if there are any missing ones, I'm going to screw those in first. So this is one of my favorite tools ever. It's actually a standoff screwer, I guess, but basically it fits in any Phillips head screwdriver and allows you to remove and install standoffs really easily. It is a lifesaver. Before I install the motherboard, I just want to route some cables. It'll make my life easier. Sweet. We're at that point where we can finally use the cable extensions. I'm very excited about that. Thankfully, the color of these cables actually matched well with the color of the spray paint and the vinyl wrap. And because we don't have a video card, cable management is a lot easier. So motherboard is installed and I'm just plugging in the cables here. And here are the front panel header cables and the USB cables. I've done enough computer builds to figure out where to plug them in, but you can consult your manual to see exactly where they go. Now my cable management isn't the best, but I think it gets the job done. And voila, this was one of the quicker builds I've actually done. Let's actually see if it powers on. Moment of truth. We did it, guys. You built your $400 gaming computer and it looks pretty good. Here is the finishing touch though. I actually bought this magnet from an Etsy seller. Looks really good. Oh yeah, and one of my favorite parts, the peel. Nice. You don't get that often with a $40 case. With that being said, here's what the build turned out to be. So I'm really excited with how it looked, but how does the computer perform? We're done. So as you can see, this computer is pretty decent for 900p to 1080p low performance, and you can expect 30 to maybe 80 FPS, depending on the game and the settings, of course. Now, one downside about this computer, other than the fact that some of these parts are out of stock and kind of overpriced, is that the case fans actually just stay this RGB cotton candy color. You can't change the color of them. Kind of sucks, but for $40, it's still pretty hard to complain. Now on the flip side, the upside is, even though you are using integrated graphics, the processor in this is pretty good. So you can just pop in a video card within the next year or two when they become more affordable, and you have yourself a pretty decent entry-level computer. With all that being said, I hope you guys found this video helpful, useful, calming. If you guys are interested in other calming budget builds, just let me know what budget I should do next down in the comments, and the one with the most likes I will probably do next for this series. If you liked it, make sure you leave a like. If you loved it, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.